whenever you're on a forum and you're arguing with other people trying to defend your hobbies, eventually the question will pop up. The question that is not born out of ignorance, but it's a question meant to attack. What is wokeness? That thing doesn't. Can you define it? And, it's like asking someone, what is Christianity? And if they say, well, it's a belief in God, like, but the Jews believe in God as well, but the Jews aren't Christians. See, Christianity doesn't exist. If you can't define it, it means it's not there. And obviously, this is a language tactic. This is something that a lot of us gatekeepers have had to constantly deal with. And I am here to educate the masses. I know a lot of people on Twitter are ignorant, but ignorance is a choice. I will tell you what wokeness is through the series of my videos. If you watch my channel, I will tell you why actual fans are upset. And here we have an example with the modern writers of Avatar doing their best in order to try and current day the work. Current daying is something that you should always avoid when writing fiction. It is impossible to write a timeless masterpiece if you're constantly catering to the modern audience. And especially when you realize just how fast time progresses, that if I were to put a meme into my video game, within 1 or 2 years, people wouldn't even know what I'm talking about. Like, imagine trying to put Nyan Cat into the video game, or the Rafflecopter, or dubstep, right? Like, you want to avoid current daying as much as possible, but the way most writers write nowadays is that they are doing their best in order to current day everything, to put their ideology into the work, whether it makes sense or not. So like, for example, here the modern Avatars writers have retconned the Fire Kingdom. So the Fire Kingdom is already evil. Like, you don't need to make it more evil than it is. It serves its purpose. And, they go around, they genocide people. Like, it's an invasion force, right? Like, any child that watches the Avatar immediately gets it. It's like, yes, these are the bad guys. The introduction is good. Like, you don't need to tinker with it. But of course they will. And they will try to make modern day issues into the story. So, first of all, they point out that there is wealth disparity within the kingdom. And it's like, okay, I guess this makes sense, because you may watch Avatar and you may say, well, what if I was part of the Fire Nation? Wouldn't that be good? Well, no, because there's, like, wealth disparity, and there's, like, even the people that live within it don't have happy lives. Okay, but did you know that they banned gay sex marriage, right? And it's due to xenophobia and hatred. They have hate speech. They got hate speech, and they outraw the same-sex marriage. And I'm like, how American can you get? Like this is the epitome of modern-day America. Like, even 10 years ago, they wouldn't deal with it. And I will tell you why. As a non-American, okay? Like, as a person who doesn't live in the United States, we don't even talk about this shit. Right? Like, we do not talk about anal sex all the time. We talk about how we put food on the table. We talk about the price for electricity. We talk about the price of rent. How many times do these things come up in America? Like, I literally remember covering on my main channel a couple of weeks ago. You had Hillary Clinton, which was at an event, and she gets a heckler. And the heckler starts asking her about the future. Like, he is concerned about World War III. He's saying, okay, well, we're involved in Ukraine. Now there's a conflict in the Middle East. There's problems with China. Like, what are we going to do? Like, real life shit? I mean, if there was a conflict and there was a draft, that guy looked young enough to be drafted. Hillary Clinton wasn't, right? So she's staying there on the stage, and she wants instead to talk about homosexuality in Uganda. And I'm like, I'm sure that there is a time to talk about this very important aspect that she was trying to discuss. Like, it is a noble subject. Obviously, it is something of paramount importance, but can we address some time for the other less important issues? Like, not a lot, but like, just alleviate the concerns of the peasantry. But now it makes sense, right? Like there are people that are absolutely obsessed with this subject. And they cannot write something without putting their obsessions into the piece. Not to mention, you know, like the thing with same-sex marriage, like you view it that it's evil to be abolished, but like when you look at the rest of the world, you're basically making the statement that the Middle East is evil, that China is evil. I think India, right? Like, does India allow it? I need to check. Probably not, I assume. Like the majority of the world doesn't allow it. So basically, you're making the statement that everyone is evil. So this work of art, right? It can't be sold in China now. Like, why would the Chinese person, you know, be considered evil? Like why would he read your stuff when he knows that the author thinks of themselves as being evil? Why can't you write something for everyone? Like, this shouldn't even be included. This is not necessary. Like, you know, the Fire Nation is already evil. You do not need to make this. Because, like, this only resonates in the mind of a select few. Because for the vast amount of human history, same-sex marriage wasn't a thing, right? Like, this is a brand new stuff that America has discovered in the academia recently, which is great, you know? But to judge the entire world now, to say that, yes, you're like the Fire Nation, you're going to genocide people, goes hand in hand. Like, come on. The main problem that I have with this is not necessarily like the writing or anything. It's immersion breaking. It's immersion breaking because when I see it, I know the type of person that wrote it. Like, I just close my eyes and I already see in the back of my mind the exact image of the author. I am that good at stereotyping. It's like a magic power now. I can see that they're wearing glasses. I can see that they're from California now. I can see them soy facing. Like, all of these things in the back of my mind, you know. I know that he cares about the environment. I know that he votes Democrat, right? I know that he wants you to stay home and stay safe. Like, all these things, how do I know? How do I know about this person, right? Like, I can't be as accurate about other individuals, but when it comes to this writer, I'm willing to bet I know their entire political spectrum without them having to open their mouth once. But it's immersion breaking. That's the problem, right? Like, you didn't get to see this in books 10 years ago. It is what it is. I don't know. Like maybe some people like it, but the thing is, it's like, if this was like in just this book, it would be fine. But like almost every single work of art that they write is the same fucking talking points. It's the same talking points again and again and again. It reminds me, and it just becomes boring. It's like a joke that you've heard 1,000 times. It's a story that you've already read. You know the spoilers. And due to this, it diminishes the piece. It like by itself is not a problem, but it's just like one piece of the puzzle to explain what wokeness is. Repeating the same fucking ideas over and over and over. Different mediums, same themes. It gets boring. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.